Have you ever said something and nobody remembered it? You spoke, but people forgot. Meanwhile, someone else says just one sentence and everyone listens. Why? Is it because they have better English, a better accent, more confidence? No, not always. Sometimes the most unforgettable people are not the loudest people. They're the people who make others feel something. And in this video, I'll show you how to speak in a way that people will remember you, your energy, and you. So, here's something powerful. People may forget your exact words, but they never forget how you made them feel. Think about your favorite teacher. Maybe you don't remember every lesson, but you remember how they encouraged you, how they respected you, how they made you feel important. That is powerful communication. Real communication is not about showing perfect grammar, it's about creating connections. Some people, you know, speak English perfectly, but nobody listens. Others make mistakes, but everyone remembers them because emotion is stronger than perfection. Most people talk like robots, and you may agree with me on this, right? The emotions are missing because there's a lot of thoughts going on in your head. Maybe you're thinking about grammar, maybe you are translating sentences from your regional language to English. So which leads to flat voice, no emotion whatsoever, no energy. For example, if I say I had a difficult day, doesn't make a lot of difference. Now, if I say the same thing using a different sentence and put in a little bit of emotion, tell me if you feel the difference. I'd say, honestly, today was one of the hardest day of my life, or hardest day I have had in months. Do you see the difference here? Words become memorable when emotions are attached to them, right? To to make people remember you. Pause sometimes. Change your tone. Speak slower during important moments and smile when you're speaking positively. Lower your voice during emotional moments, right? Avoid the high inflection if it's not a question and if it's a declarative sentence. That's emotion, right? You speaking, uh, you know, see, in case, let's say, one of the biggest mistakes we English learners make is this: we try to sound perfect, and because of that, we stop being human. Listen carefully. People connect with authenticity, right? Not perfection. You do not need a fake accent. You do not need a difficult vocabulary. You do not need to be Shashi Tharoor, right? You do not need a fancy grammar. You need honesty. Some of the most powerful speakers in the world are remembered because they sounded real. If you do not watch TED Talks, I highly recommend that you start watching TED Talks, and you would see how those speakers make connection with the audience, right? Maybe you have been laughed at your English. People have interrupted you before you finished speaking, or maybe you started believing that my voice doesn't matter because you've been losing confidence after seeing reactions from other people. But your voice does matter. Someone out there needs to hear your story, your ideas, your experiences. So, here is a secret used by great speakers, right? They don't speak to a crowd, they speak to one person at a time. When you try to impress everyone, you connect with no one. When you speak like, I understand you, I felt that too. You're not alone. People listened emotionally, right? And instead of saying, for example, everyone faces problems, probably try to change that or paraphrase that to something like, I know what it feels like to doubt yourself. This would sound more, personal instead of sounding generic, right? So memorable people speak with purpose. Um, so before you speak, ask yourself, what do I want people to feel? How can I sound more meaningful? Not how can I sound smart? Not the meaningful. There has to be a purpose. Because powerful communication is not about impressing people, it's about impacting them, right? So one day, right, you'll walk into a room and speak with confidence. Not because your English became perfect, but because you finally stopped hiding your voice. Remember this, your accent is not your weakness, right? Your mistakes do not define you, and your voice deserves to be heard. And people will remember you long after conversation ends. If this video connected with you and helped you even a bit to improve or enhance your confidence, your voice, comment below. I will use my voice and share this video with someone who needs confidence to speak English. Subscribe to Language Nerds India for more powerful English speaking tips and confidence lessons. You're watching me, Raj, Language Nerds India, and I will see you in the next video.